questions are for this show called Preview 92. The whole show takes a look at all the releases coming out in 92 and what's going to happen to music and stuff like that. So I'll do those first and then do the stuff about the album.
Okay, and these are the kind of questions where they're going to cut your voice out?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's good if you repeat the question.
Right.
Okay, cool. So, what bands do you think have been most influential in the past year and why?
To me?
Yeah.
The bands that have been most influential to me are, geez, there's a lot of them. Because a lot of the bands might have a little influence here and there. But I think the biggest ones have been, like, lately, Metallica and Slayer. Previously, it was Led Zeppelin mostly, and I learned how to listen to them while I was learning how to play guitar. And that's what I think.
Okay. What would you say more or less?
I think it'll get so bloody hot.
Okay, well, just be aware that every now and then
People
people
are
come
going to be
through.
coming out. Okay. In 1991, who would you say was, like, most influential, like, for music in general?
For everybody.
For everybody, yes. And why?
Oh, it's hard to say. Really hard to say who has been influential to, you know, most people in 1991, because there's so many different things happening out there. Geez. I'd have to say is, you know, sounds kind of corny, but we still have to go back to the old blues guys, because of that still happening, and people are still, you know, there's bands still that are just coming out that are still playing that kind of stuff. So I don't think that'll ever leave us.
Okay. What bands do you think now are breaking new ground in their genres? And if you could explain that.
That's a tough one. I'm kind of reluctant to say that anybody's breaking new ground, because I feel that most, you know, things have been done from a long time ago. I mean, everybody's taking something from somewhere and using it. You know, you can even name a couple of genres like rap, or, you know, people have been singing or speaking rhythmically to music probably ever since they started singing to it. But I really don't feel that there's really anything that's really new out there, really.
Okay. Do you see any trends that have started to take shape now that you think will sort of come to the forefront in 92 in music?
Oh, I don't think so. I haven't seen anything that's really, in the last year, that's really caught my attention as far as new bands go or anything like that. I notice Nirvana has really done good with their last record, and I listened to some of the cuts, and it reminds me of you know, punk rock of the early 80s. You know, I guess to a lot of people that's new. A lot of people have not experienced that before, so maybe they'll help bring that out a little bit more.
Okay. Are there any trends that you're really sick of that you'd like to see go away?
Oh yeah, disco dance music. It's really, I'd like to see that go away. Somehow it's really sappy to me. I go to some place where I want to have a good time, like to a bar or something, and they start playing that stuff really loud. You know, I know maybe I sound like an old fogey or something, but it's a fact. I never really cottoned to it.
Okay, I just have to laugh.
An old fogey, that's the first thing I thought of.
Staying alive, staying alive.
Okay. Is there anything that you'd like to see happen to music in 1992? Like there's, you know, something...
Oh yeah, what I'd like to see happen to music is to see the, you know, I know that the big record companies and MTV are a big part of music now. I'd like to see it, you know, like, I don't know how they call it, deregulated or whatever. I mean, a lot of people are pushing for certain kinds of music and certain bands because they feel it has more of a commercial appeal. I'd like to see it a more broader variety of tunes, of bands and styles than there is now. It seems like at different points in time, certain types of bands get a lot of attention, and it's kind of boring to me.
Okay. I would say that the late 80s was dominated by metal, and then 90 and 91 was pretty much everyone looked towards rap. Do you think in 92 people are going to look more towards alternative music?
I think that I don't know necessarily in 92 if people are going to look more towards alternative music, but I think it is definitely going that way, whether it be 92, 93, 94. I think that people are looking for alternative music, definitely. Something a little bit more interesting than having like 100 guys playing the same song but calling it different names. And there's some interesting stuff happening out there.
Can you give any examples of bands that you know of, like some underground bands that might make a splash or something in 92?
No, I don't really. I have to say that I haven't paid much attention in the last year to any too many underground bands. I know there's a couple of them, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. One band that I really liked, I guess probably in 1989 or 90, I forget, when they came out with their record, was King's X with Gretchen Goes to Nebraska. To me, that was kind of I hesitate to say a milestone or anything like that, but that was, one of the only records that I really, only new records from so-called new bands that I really liked in quite a while.
I would say that in 91, Seattle was the sort of the town that everyone looked towards to find new music. Do you see any other cities cropping up where people are going to look towards that city to find new music?
As far as cities that produce new music go, I don't think you ever can tell where it's going to come from. Of course, the San Francisco Bay Area has always been a place for new bands to come out of for many years. I would have to say that Seattle will probably continue to produce new bands, as well as the San Francisco Bay Area and wherever else they come from.
Okay. Do you think there's more of a progression or a regression as far as music is concerned? Do you think more people look back and try and duplicate what's already been done, or do you think they try and break new ground?
I think that a lot of folks look back to try and duplicate what's been done and end up coming up with something new. Either way, I mean, people do both things. A lot of people try really hard to do something new, and it ends up sounding like something old. I don't know. Sure.
What genre of music do you really see evolving?
Jeez, really evolving. I have to say rock. It's always evolving. It's always got its little fingers in there somewhere. Even the rap and dance music guys use rock riffs in their samplers, you know what I mean? So I think that the old rock music is the one that's always evolving.
Where do you see your music in 92?